When the case gets dark and the motive's unclear, when you're drowning in questions and twisted in fear, there's two voices of reason we turn to each time to make sense of the madness, unravel the crime. Dr. Rachel and Kristen, the therapist you know, guiding us down where the damaged minds go. Into the muck and the mire they dive, helping us understand how evil survives. They're not here for your problems, no couch in this room. Better not overshare or you'll get the bill soon. They're here for the cases that haunt and disturb, the crimes that leave logic completely blurred. When someone commits the unthinkable act, when violence erupts and the psyche's been cracked, we need expert eyes to peer through the fog, to wade through the cobwebs, cut through the smog. What makes someone snap? What darkness takes hold? What stories of trauma were never quite told? The why and the how of humanity's worst minds behind the crimes in darkness immersed. So who you gonna call when you need to know why? Dr. Rachel and Kristen to help clarify. They offer the insight, they clear out the mess. Psychological principles, nothing more, nothing less. Thank you for coming, for helping us see into the darkest of what minds can be, for lending your knowledge, your wisdom, your time to help us understand the most disturbing of crimes. So here's to Dr. Rachel and Kristen tonight, for shining their expertise into the darkest of plights, for wading through muck that most would avoid, for filling the gaps where our understanding's been void. Now don't get confused about their roles here tonight. They are the experts we call on for cases to help shed the light. Your therapist, your doctor, that's not what they do. They're here for the criminal minds, not me and not you. But we thank them sincerely for all that they do, for helping us process what's painful but true, for guiding us through when the questions run deep. Our guides through the darkness where criminal minds creep.
Live on the air, it's Trial Junkies United with your host, Z. Ooh, my skin already crawls, but okay.
Going to do this alone. No, when cases become dark and psychological, complex, we're going to need some backup here. So let's bring in our experts and welcome to Trial Junkies United, Dr. Rachel, a doctor of clinical psychology, and Kristen, the therapist you know. Welcome.
And if you don't know, you're going to know.
Exactly. And welcome to all of our people in the chat. We've got Fala and Amy and Lazy River, Ben Rosenberg, Hellcat. If I've missed anyone, I'm sorry. But let's set the scene before we get started. It takes place, of course, in a high school. We have Lauren and Owen, two high school sweethearts in a small Michigan town. And there starts to be a cyberbullying campaign. Over 350,000 messages are sent. Hey, OnlyFan, we see ya. 2 years
Oh,
of psychological warfare when the truth finally comes out. The community is left stunned, you guys. Lauren's your typical small town high school athlete, popular, bubbly, close with her family. Her mom's her coach, and her and Owen had been together since 8th grade. They were the high school sweethearts that everyone said was the golden couple. I think we all had one of those in our high school, or 2 or 3.
Hey Z,
Yeah.
is your blue button working to?
Oh, I forgot to hit a button. There we go.
Oh no,
What
uh,
do?
we're
There.
on the wrong. Okay, there. All
There
right,
we go.
I got you on the right one. Okay, there's.
Oopsie daisies. If something doesn't happen, we know it's not us. There's Dr.
Cool.
Rachel.
Sorry, guys.
Dr.
Looking
Rachel.
okay. All right.
Okay. There's
Little
our
fast
little
forwarding.
gold.
There we go.
Okay, I did. I moved us along.
There we go.
So their families even were close. They hosted barbecues, had holidays together. And then in 2020, you guys, messages started coming across Lauren's cell phone. And they were ugly. And they said things like, "You're too ugly for anyone to love." And then accusations that Owen, her boyfriend, was cheating on her. And then she was told she should kill herself. Hey, Caprila. So the world saying the world would be better off without you. Now think about that, telling a young teenage girl she'd be better off if she killed herself. Now, the messages pause for just a little bit, and then they return in a vengeance in 2021 and never stopped. And we're talking 30 to 40 or more a day. Now, Lauren and Owen were targeted, and it's cruel, manipulate. There were even sexually explicit messages to Lauren about, Owen, and it was disgusting. And they called Lauren anorexic, described her body, said cruel things, called Lauren by her nickname that her friends and close family used, which was Low. They commented on her outfits and her hairstyle at school, how her basketball stats were. So it was somebody that she knew. And both sets of parents, they got into the school and they were talking and they were trying to figure out who this is. They accused other girls because Owen had a close friend. And so they were really going after these people. And then one day the FBI gets involved, right? And when the FBI gets involved, it actually doesn't take them too awful long. The mother had even, Kendra, Lauren's mom, handed over 50 pages of messages, you guys, to the FBI saying, these people, this is who we think could be it. What are you going to do? Well, what the FBI does is they use the VPN and they pinpoint the real IP address and they identify this person. The person that's been stalking this young girl for over 2 years was her mother. Her own mother. And they show the footage on the police camera with her mother trying to hug her as the police are telling her her mother has been doing this. And the father, oh Lord, his face, he said, "Get this woman out of here. Get her out of here." She only goes to jail for 19 months. Now, I found out about this case because I don't know if any of you guys, I love to watch Dax Shepard and Monica, his co-host on Armchair Expert, and they were discussing it. That's how I found out. Dax was a little upset because he's like, how come they didn't just take the phones away? And that girl took a year before she even told her mom. But let's turn to the experts here. Dr. Rachel, let's start with a question for you, darling.
All right.
When you
All
hear
right.
over 350,000 messages sent over 2 years, 30 to 40 a day, what does that tell you of the obsession about the perpetrator?
This was her life. I mean, her life was revolving around this. I can imagine probably even in her thoughts, what's the next text going to be? Where am I going to take this now? Yeah, I mean, this was, I would think, would be really all consuming. I mean, for a teenager, maybe 30 texts isn't, whatever, but when it's the content that it was, that's unbelievable. I mean, that's,
Yeah.
every half hour, every half hour, look, I don't do math. So even every 20 minutes, every
Yeah.
25 minutes, you're getting a disgusting text like that. I mean, because you're not awake 24 hours a day, right? So
Yeah.
it has to be all consuming. That had to be what she thought about nonstop.
And Kristen, what did you think when you heard that many messages?
Obsession.
Yeah. Well, and that's an interesting thought that Dr. Rachel brought out, is because they did say that the father ended up finding out that she had lost both of her jobs that she said she had.
Mhm.
And they were in financial trouble because she was the one that handled the money and he didn't know. So you're
Right.
right. It was all consuming.
Well, and this kind of thing, I mean, this doesn't just pop up. Like, this isn't something where all of a sudden this woman was like, oh, I'm going to do this. She's been doing stuff like this and lying about things for a long time. Possibly
Yeah.
her entire adult life, possibly before that. I mean, this is not a behavior that just, oh yeah, I got a rush the first time I did it. No, this kind of manipulation has been going on always, just in
Yeah.
Yeah,
different
it's
ways.
pathological. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it blew my mind because at first you're sitting there trying to figure out who it is. Hey, sweet pea, glad you joined us. We're trying to figure out who it is as you're watching
Hey,
the
sweet pea.
Hi,
documentary.
sweet pea.
And because the mother is doing on the documentary, at first you don't think the mother, because as the documentary, you're like, okay, well,
Well,
all the
what?
parents are there.
Yeah, that'd be the right, and not to, I mean, even if she wasn't on there, that'd be the last person on earth I would think would be
Oh,
doing stuff like
yeah,
that. The last.
exactly.
I mean, yeah.
Hey, Katrina, glad you're here, darling. But I know when I was watching Dax and Monica, they compared this to like a Munchausen syndrome by proxy, because we know what Munchausen syndrome is, when people try and make their child ill to get attention for themselves. But they were wondering if this was some kind of use of that. I don't
Can I
know.
chime in?
Sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
The
Jump on
obsession
in.
with Owen, is what steers me away from any factitious diagnosis.
Okay.
I'm not diagnosing anybody because you don't do
Yeah.
that when you haven't met the person. That's gross.
Right.
But this leans me more towards a crime, and to respect YouTube, I'll say like that you would have to register for.
Yeah.
And Munchausen is typically diagnosed by reviewing loads and loads of medical documents and noticing the patterns and stuff.
Right.
So I don't know how anybody could diagnose this as that,
Yeah.
unless it's just certain things. People are assuming a lot with that diagnosis.
Yeah. Well, they
Well,
were
and
just,
that's not,
they
Well,
were
it's,
just trying
it's the court of public opinion versus
Yeah,
fact.
because I mean,
So
Dax is an actor,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
but he
you
was
know.
just the thing that a mother was doing it, I think, was what he was jumping on, is that, you have
No,
this
I know
long.
Dax, and I
Yeah.
know Dax. We're friends. Not really. I know about him and love him, but
Yeah.
of course he's going to assume that. That's just very
Yeah.
much a
Yeah.
man skip to the solution, and it all fits into this
Yeah.
box. I get it.
Yeah.
I don't think it's Munchausen's. I think
I think
she's
it's a lot.
once Owen.
It's a lot more complicated than that.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Yeah.
it's like there's a piece of it. Well, and with fictitious disorder, it's about the motive behind it. So like, what
Okay.
was this for? And we don't know that, and we're not going to know that. With vectitious
Yeah.
disorder, it's for the attention. So in cases of medical child abuse, you see, it's the relationship with the doctors and the people giving flowers and bringing food and helping you. You're always the center of attention, and this has
That's
some
true.
components of that. But I agree with Kristen that, I mean, this is like multifaceted, right? I mean, she's lying
Yeah.
about much more than just this in her life. I'm
Well,
sure there are other
yeah, and like you
cons that
s
she's pulled off. Yeah.
yeah.
And then
Well, and I guess
Owen.
yeah, and I guess when you think about it, Lauren didn't tell her mom for an entire year. So that girl was trying to deal with it for the first year on her own. So yeah, her mom
Mhm,
technically wasn't getting maybe the attention even from Lauren
it's
if
true.
that had been the goal.
That's a long time to deal with something like that. You
But
know,
Oh yeah,
yeah,
a
but
teenager?
how embarrassing though. So like if I'm thinking like a teenager, I'm thinking, I don't want to I don't want to say these things to my mom. I don't want her to see what they're saying. I mean, they're vile, disgusting things. Like
hmm
you don't want to,
Yes.
maybe this will just go away. And on top of that, teenagers don't want their parents to make a big deal out of things. They don't want to make it, they don't want all their friends to find out and their parents be all involved and it be this big spectacle.
yeah.
So if she didn't know for a year, does that lend credence to her mom not being the one doing it around Halloween?
No, I don't think
Mm-mm.
so. I think it's a situation. The mom knew the whole, I mean, she's doing it, and I think it's a
Well, she
situation where
claimed at
she
the
just
end
did.
that she was the first one to do it.
That's a lie.
And I
Yeah,
didn't believe that.
yeah. No, I don't
Oh,
either. I
oh,
she tried to act like somebody else did it the first time, and she just
Right.
decided to chime in. No,
At this
I
point,
don't.
how would you believe anything she says? I mean,
But
Yeah,
that aligns with Lauren not telling her mom for a year,
yeah.
is what I'm saying.
Okay.
yeah.
but can you imagine if your mother is doing this to you and you're not saying anything? Did she get worse because you didn't say anything? Or was
Well,
she just got so into it because she got obsessed? Hey, Kerrville, PJ and Chris joined us. Yay.
I think this kind of emotional abuse, I mean, her mom's a predator.
Yeah.
So, and I think she preys on people. I mean, she preyed on her daughter, she preyed on Owen, she preyed on her husband, all these people, but she's been doing this, right? So, I mean, I think
Yeah.
when I think of someone like this, I think of, someone who's been doing this to her daughter since she was born. I wouldn't doubt the subtle manipulation, the subtle emotional abuse that that her daughter endured, that hopefully she's able to unpack someday. But these people are good at doing really subtle
Yeah.
manipulation tactics that people may not even pick up on until it's something major. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, she and
Well,
mentally,
Fowler brings out a good point, but she acted like it wasn't a big deal when she found out it was her mom. Like she tries to explain it away. Isn't that kind of like classic behavior from a bullied person? I mean, is
Kristen, wouldn't that be shock?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
okay.
I think from a psychological standpoint, that the flat reaction actually makes a lot of sense.
Okay.
Um, like when you're secure base, if you're coming from an attachment perspective, like the attachments you form to your caregivers, that secure attachment has become threatened and is cracking, and the attachment system and the fear system collide. So your body doesn't explode, you freeze.
Mhm.
It's like an emotional lockdown, and the brain's way of saying, I can't survive and feel at the same time. Like it's got to do one or the other.
Hey,
She just
Googly,
freezes.
glad you're here. But
I
yeah,
also think that
that's
I
go
think
ahead.
that's yeah, that's a perfect explanation. And I also would go so far as to say that given how she's still reacting, which is like, I very much want a relationship with mom, I think that she has been trained since infancy to cater to her mom's feelings.
Ah,
Mhm.
So we don't upset mom. it's, mom's the one hurting here. I need to be the stable one. I need to be the, non-reactive one because mom's going to overreact and we got to keep her stable.
Yeah.
which is a tough situation, because that's, a lot of teenagers, they get into that situation when they think they have to take care of a parent, because a parent is, say if a parent is on drugs or whatever, and they feel like they need to be the adult in the whole relationship. And yeah, that's tough because she's not an adult yet.
No. Well, and one of the things that I was concerned about too was the explicit sexual content that this woman is saying to her daughter and harassing her. Like, number one, I just don't know why they didn't charge her with sexual harassment of a minor or a child, because that was
Yeah.
abuse.
Yeah, I'm baffled by the
mean,
charges. Yeah.
I just don't think legally we're caught up to the cyber stuff like we should be. It's moving way fast, and the legal system doesn't seem to move as quickly.
I wondered
if they even knew what to charge.
Do you think they even knew what to charge her with, because they were in shock?
Well, that's what I don't know. I mean, I'm not a lawyer. I don't know. I don't know what they would charge if an adult is just saying those explicit things to someone or texting that to them. I don't know what charge that would be. Maybe one
Grooming?
of our chatters whose name
we might have a lawyer.
We might have a lawyer in the chat.
I think
don't know.
I think the intent is definitely important.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I was thinking grooming, like a predator grooms a child on.
But to what end?
Well, she was trying to get her to do things to Owen. That was what she was suggesting.
And at one point, she suggested that her daughter kill herself. Right? I mean,
oh yeah, it went further than that. Yeah. I was just, it was just that part was like, whoa. I mean, what woman is talking to her daughter? And she was not. What was she, like 14, 15? And this
she's
is how
younger than that when it started.
Mm-hmm.
She was 12 or 13 when it started. I mean, can you imagine when you think about, like, there's just like certain things you never want to hear your parents say. You pretend like your parents are like asexual. You don't want to know. You don't want to know anything about that. You don't want to hear them talking about. I mean, oh my gosh, especially to that degree.
Yeah.
I think that's where, I mean, imagine, like Kristen was saying, the shock of trying to like meld all of that together.
Oh yeah.
Probably could not even compute at that point in time what was happening.
Well, then in Christmas of 2021, the couple breaks up because the stress. I mean, I can't, and the whole time, both sets of parents, supposedly, Owen's parents and Lauren's keep going to the school, trying to get the school to do something, but the kids break up. And so you would have thought, okay, it's going to stop. It didn't. It got worse, because now she's really harassing Owen. When he tried to date another girl he was getting to know that lived further away, she starts sending her messages, and he just breaks up with that girl because he was like, we're not going to start this with this relationship.
And that's when I knew it wasn't for Lauren to need her mom. She wasn't doing this so her daughter would need her, because they broke up. It wasn't even about her daughter.
So you think it was more perhaps an infatuation for Owen that she
yes,
just
I do.
got? Because that was an interesting point that Owen's mom said, that after they broke up, Kendra still kept coming to all of his games.
Isn't that weird?
Yes.
I mean, not that all of this isn't weird, but
well, I can tell you, if Owen's dad was still coming to Lauren's games after they broke up, someone would have noticed and said, what are you doing? Yeah. But I think because it was the mom and they were the moms were friends, and it was like, nobody thinks about the female being a predator like that. I mean, we're seeing it a lot more, but
That's
Mhm.
true.
Well, and don't you think too, because her mother was actually her coach, so she had a coaching role in the school. So maybe they just thought,
Sure.
she's
Yeah,
there supporting another team. And
maybe.
like you said, they're not thinking of her in that vein because she's a woman when they should be. They're not
Right.
thinking of her as a predator. Um, but Kooky Kendra was definitely a predator because she was taking pictures at Christmas to where they ended up, I think, didn't they accuse his cousin or something?
Yeah.
Because his cousin was there. So they started pointing fingers at even Owen's cousin, thinking
Mm.
maybe she was in on it with these other mean girls.
Well,
Mhm.
Capri Law makes the point. She was probably so deep in her financial lies and marital issues that this was an escape in a way.
But
I-
here's what I mean with that. Yes, I agree with that. But in that situation, a person that's trying to escape will go have an affair with an adult,
Hmm.
will go do things that are age appropriate, that are, maybe not looked upon in positive light, but are not, you don't go after a child, you don't go after a teenager. Like
Right.
this is different to me than that. And yes, I think it probably still was an escape, but the escape of a very pathological person and predator.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, okay, let's see. I bet the mom was, oh, Kervil,
Well,
let's hope she wasn't wanting to watch
yeah,
her, her.
See, I need to say something, but I
Yeah, it
don't
would
know
have
how
been
to
sick.
say it.
Can you spell it?
Probably not. I mean, I'm able to.
Let's see. According to YouTube, what fruits do we need to use as?
No. Do you think the mom was trying to make adult content?
No, I think the mom was
Doing things while she was
getting
texting.
pleasure
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
from
Okay.
herself because of the words that she used.
Yeah,
I got
I think she
Okay.
derived pleasure.
for sure.
Okay. So that became a way
Definitely.
for her to,
Yeah.
satisfy herself.
Thank you.
Mhm. Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
See, we'll get there.
Yeah.
eventually. Hey, had to go for the
Oh, I
joke.
still want you to
What can
spell
I say?
that.
Irish Amy says loving on yourself. Goodness.
Yes, very much so.
Oh my goodness. Uh, and the fact that the whole time though, she was just running her daughter into the ground, telling her daughter she was anorexic, she had no boobs, she had a flat bum. Just telling her
Sadistic.
stats were horrible.
Yeah.
I was just thinking that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Mhm.
sadism. Yeah.
I Do you think that the mother was jealous of her daughter?
Sure, could be.
Yeah.
I
Think, I
kind of
don't know.
wonder what her school life was like.
Well, I think she's stuck at about 13 years old. I almost feel like the daughter at one point, like, sort of surpassed her in the emotional department,
Yeah.
and she was still 13, bullying and doing all this deviant, weird stuff. And the way that she reacted in the end and her very simple excuses for things and the way she minimized was all just very simple.
Yeah.
Well, there are some
Yeah.
people that just do not grow out of that phase of their life.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
I just find that very hard to believe. She got married, she had kids, she had a job. When people use that as a crutch, like, oh, I had a traumatic childhood. Okay, who didn't?
No.
Well, a lot
Yeah.
of predators use that as an excuse, and we know that. And whether it's true for them or not, in fact, we know that almost half of them that use that excuse, actually, it wasn't even true anyway, that something happened to them.
Yeah.
So when she had said that, I was like, that's exactly what predators say.
Yeah.
Well, I had a
Yeah.
really traumatic experience where this happened to me, and I don't even
Yeah,
think I
'cause
believe that.
she tried
Yeah.
to claim she had been SA'd at
Mhm.
13, Lauren's age.
Which, God forbid, that sucks if
Yeah.
that happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But how in
She
the
did, but
world does that explain what she did?
Yeah.
I can't get
Exactly.
from 1 to 2.
Yeah. Well, and the father, that poor man, when he came home, here he thought they were getting to the bottom of it. And then when they told him,
Yeah, well, they
and then
got to the bottom of it, all right.
oh yeah, he literally told the sheriff, "Get her out of my
Mhm.
house." He said,
Or I'm
"Or
going to
you
get
will
in
be,
trouble.
I'm gonna get in trouble. You're gonna lock me up." And
Now,
she was just whining. And he finally said, "I'm calling your parents to come get you."
mhm. Like she's 13, right?
Isn't
Your
that a
parents
Yeah.
weird
pick you
response?
up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm calling your parents to come get you. You have to get out of this house.
Mhm.
I mean, that
Now,
just
I've heard other people talk about this, and some will say that they thought his response of someone's going to get hurt, I'm going to end up in jail if you don't leave tonight, have been implying that he has been violent in the past, or that,
That's a
you know,
no.
big jump.
no. And I want to say, I think that all that comment is number one, self-awareness, go dad. Number two,
Yeah.
that is the rage that he felt that I think any of us would feel in that moment, learning this massive bomb being dropped on you.
Mhm.
Is I don't know if I can control myself. I don't think that takes a violent person to
Yeah.
have feelings like that in that situation. And I had to give him
Yeah.
so much credit for his daughter was there, for remaining calm, for saying, I think some would say maybe that was poor problem solving and reflective of his, sending her away as opposed to talking with her and dealing with the problem. No, I think that was the best thing that he could have possibly done for him and his daughter in that situation, is get mom out of there in a calm,
Yeah.
respectful way. So
Yeah.
I was
I
really impressed
agree.
with him.
Because I didn't take it that he had ever been violent with her. I took it
Mm-mm,
that his
never.
mind was so blown that
Mm.
it was just like, because she kept hanging on to her daughter, which was gross, and I think he wanted her away. Get away from my kid, get
Uh-huh.
away from me, because we need to take this in.
Yeah.
We need to process, you know? And I mean, when the cop first told her, "You did this," and she was like, "Well, you don't have to tell anybody." It's like, "Really?"
Well, from what I understand too, because there was some in the when they confront her and she immediately is like, "Okay, yeah, I did it." Apparently, she had already been interrogated at the station, and she already knew a lot of what they had on her, and they were trying to get her to admit to, and she wouldn't, and so they couldn't keep her necessarily. But then when they went to go get her, like she already kind of knew when they got there, like this is it. Like
Yeah.
I can't fight this anymore. So it wasn't like she just immediately gave in, the way that it seemed. I would love to get a hold
Okay.
of that interrogation, but
Yeah.
Yeah, that
yeah,
would be something to watch, wouldn't it? I mean, it's just
Sarah Boone vibes.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, that's why he needed to get her out of the house. He wasn't gonna let her near a suitcase, that's for sure. Because that woman's crazy.
yeah.
But like I
I
said, like
mean,
I just think she's just so she reminds me of a parent that would like leave their infant in a room by itself for too long and just wait for it to cry and cry and cry and cry just so that she could
She could
have
feel
that
wanted.
control. Yeah, and then she could be like, "Oh," but also kind of like getting off on the helplessness of their kid and that she's in
Mm.
control of that and the emotional manipulation of that,
yeah.
It's just like, I'm
Yes.
gonna put you in this situation where I'm the only one that can rescue you. And
It's kinda like a kid being mean to bugs. Like I'm watching this and how far can I take it before
mhm,
you scream uncle, you know?
That's a good
Kervil,
point.
yeah, Kervil's right. She did lie about having another phone. It was like they had to drag everything
yeah,
out of her.
yeah.
So outside on the side of the house, what are you doing?
Yeah,
Did you drop it out a bathroom window?
I, that's a good
Probably.
question.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Hey, film freak. Yeah, that could be.
Hey,
Well,
Phil.
and then on Christmas Day, she had told her daughter that she was ugly and anorexic, and your anorexic toddler body is worthless. Um, and then she tried to say it was a mistake. I mean, a teenage girl in those developmental years having to hear this, that she's
The
probably
damage.
most girls that are teens already struggle with images of their
Yeah,
body, right? I mean, that's just normal.
right.
But then the harm that her mother did, this is the person that's supposed to support her. I
And that's such an
when
important part of development, that age.
Hmm.
Mhm. You know what I
yeah,
would do to somebody who would say something like that to my teenage daughter? And then, like, as a mom, like,
Yeah.
that makes yeah, I won't even say what I was gonna say
Yeah,
because
you
being
know,
funny.
can you say it
But
on YouTube?
no, I'm not going to, because then next thing you know, I'm on the stand in court and they're like, "Did you say this about what you do to a kid?" No, but I'm saying, like,
yeah.
and then to think, like, that was her mom, I just
Mm,
Oh, yeah.
it's a sick so, it's very concerning. I guess, I think Lauren turned 18 in September.
Yeah,
So now it's pretty much up to her as far as contact with her
yeah,
mom and that kind of thing, and it's I just hope, I mean, because it's not gonna stop there. Like, this relationship,
yeah.
I just hope
Well,
Lauren's learned some boundaries, because yeah,
yeah,
it's really
here
sad.
was my question for Kristen. Did you feel like watching that her at the end, Lauren, I felt like that girl had not been to therapy.
I don't think so.
I mean, she was
Well,
so
she
confused and
made the comment, like, she said, I do believe it was my mom from the beginning. She did say that.
yeah,
So that gives me, like, she has some insight into something. So I don't know. Maybe she Googled. I don't know. I don't
She
think she's
said
had
she
a
was
lot
in
of
therapy.
therapy.
She said she
Yeah,
was in
maybe just
did
therapy.
new.
she? It
She said
just didn't feel
something
like
about
she'd had
learning
it
boundaries,
Mm,
but
but
it didn't seem like she'd had a lot of it. That was my
no.
concern. I just felt like this girl was still so lost.
Yeah, yeah.
well, they showed those texts, right, Kristen, that the mom was sending her from, like, they're communicating
With
electronically,
all the
because
XOXO.
and then when she was like, "I said I loved you on the phone and you didn't say it back."
Yeah.
They showed that, right? Okay, yeah, I
Yeah.
couldn't remember if I saw that somewhere else. So
Yeah.
she's still doing it, like,
Yeah,
That's when she was in prison, though, right? Or no?
I think
yeah, I
so.
think
She's
so.
like, "We
Yeah,
talked
Because
on
you
the
can
phone,"
text from
and
prison.
yeah, on the iPad
yeah,
or whatever.
yeah,
Well, I hope her dad is getting therapy. I hope that, because for that man, oh my God.
mm.
Um,
I know he said that his relationship with Lauren had gotten a lot better.
Mhm.
So that sounds to me like the mother always came between them. She was the
yeah.
one that she ran the money, she ran the household, she ran everything, and she ran it all into the ground. I mean, hey, Pammy,
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean,
so
it's so important for him to deal with his grief and his anger and his
yeah,
disbelief
Mhm.
and his betrayal, because otherwise, um, his time with Lauren will just continue to create tension instead of
yeah,
safety. And that's
Yeah.
all she needs is like stability and lack of chaos. She needs some consistency. And I really hope he's getting help
Yeah.
yeah.
as well as she
Because
is.
she not only ruined her family, I mean, she financially ruined her I mean, she sunk that ship, like, took it to the ground, and
Mhm.
the father and daughter are having to pick up the pieces, and yet she keeps still wanting to be part of it, and I'm sorry, I just kept thinking myself, if that had been me, I would have just told the woman, "See you. No, we're not playing this," you know, because I would
I'm
think the betrayal would be so tough.
I'm baffled why there wasn't a no contact order with her and the daughter till the daughter's 18. Why was she able to
Yeah,
communicate with her from prison?
I don't
So I
know.
thought there
That
was a no contact.
Well,
briefly.
I think
Yeah.
yeah, I think the daughter went and had it lifted, I think. Does
But
anyone
she
remember in the
she couldn't
chat?
have physical contact with her. So when she got out of jail, she wasn't
Right.
allowed to see her in person, but they were allowed to communicate through letters, email, text. So
Right.
that was when she was saying, like, I haven't seen her since she went to jail because she's not
Mm.
allowed to, but they were still allowed to communicate. And I just, like in a normal situation, yeah, like you want to keep that attachment going, like you don't want to break that attachment. This is an abusive attachment. Like you got to cut that
Yeah.
completely off because parents that are this manipulative, you give them a tiny sliver of space and they can undo everything that the kid's been working toward. You know, it's like brainwashing. Like when people leave cults, kids leave cults, you cannot let them have a single sliver of contact with anything related to that because it is like right back into the trap.
Yeah.
And I just don't
Right.
get why the court did she take a plea? I can't remember. I just feel
Yeah.
like this was
Yeah, she took a
undercharged.
plea.
The penalty was it was undercharged. This poor girl was not protected. She should have not had any contact at all till
Yeah.
she turned 18.
I kind of felt like that she shouldn't have had contact.
Didn't
I
I
did
just
have
she get
kids
didn't she
who
get a new phone? Didn't her phone
Oh,
number
no,
change?
I think they did change, but see, the
but
thing that
she
everybody
was still
forgets is
allowed to
her
call her
mom knew
though.
So she would have had to give her mother the new
Mhm.
phone number, Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think she when it first happened, I think she wanted contact with her mom, and I think it's
Mhm.
like, Kristen and Rachel said, she
Hmm.
still had that connection.
Yeah.
That's why
Okay.
I felt like she didn't have enough therapy, that someone didn't
Yeah.
really, you know,
I mean, I
show
have
that.
kids come for therapy who I can't even have the parent be in the waiting room because it influences the kid. Like, even
Oh,
if the
wow.
parent isn't in the room, like, I have to say, you have to drop the kid. You are not allowed to bring the kid, or you have to drop the kid off and go somewhere. Like, you
Because if
cannot
they
even
even
visit.
know they're out there, it
Yeah.
changes everything they say.
Hmm.
Yep. Because manipulation is that subtle and that, So
Yeah.
yeah, I think I don't know. I think the court really failed her as she moves through this too. It would have been hard at first to not have contact with her mom, but like I don't see how therapy could even be truly helping her the way in a meaningful way while she still has contact with her mom.
That's what her
Well,
cousin said.
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
maybe
She
maybe
said,
one of you can answer this. I don't know if you can or not. How do you convince a child that's been through that magnitude of an issue? How do you convince them that the information that they share with you or a therapist is not going to get back to? I mean, there would be some mechanism from the child's point of view that says to themselves that if this information ever got back
Okay.
to a
I see what
parent,
you're saying.
so
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
so how would you possibly convince them that this information is between us and it's never going to get back? Because that'd be a tough nut to
There-
crack, I would think.
yeah, there's two facets to that. There's the facet of you build rapport. A lot of it is rapport building,
Mhm.
and you build trust. And it takes more than one session for that child to typically start telling you basics like their favorite color. So
Okay.
there's that side, and it takes time to build that relationship. The other side is if a court of law requests records, I have no choice but to give them records. So I have to be very careful what I put in those notes and know that they could be subpoenaed any day. And I make sure that child knows that as well. I'm never going to put anything in there that could get them in trouble. But my
Right.
job is to protect them.
Mhm.
Regardless if they think mommy doesn't hurt me, but she does, or daddy doesn't hurt me, but he does. I will answer honestly if a judge asks me.
The
Okay.
other piece of that is that the mandatory reporting. So someone like Lauren, like mom's been convicted, she's in jail. We already know, and if there was a protective order of some sort or whatever on her, we already know that like that stuff doesn't have to be repeatedly reported. It's been reported. There's documentation of it. But if she
Okay.
were to say further things that occurred, like she was actually physically, something else happened, like you have to make sure that it's clear to the child ahead of time. Like I have, I do have to report these things. And so like what typically happens if there's already a no contact order or whatever, you report it. They don't necessarily investigate it, but depends on what it is. But if the parent doesn't have legal contact with the child, then they don't, it's like, well, the child's not in harm's way. Basically, we note it, we'll talk to the DA about it. If it's nothing they can press charges on, then it just goes in the record kind of thing. But that it does make it tricky because usually like if a parent's been in trouble for one act, there's probably others.
Right.
And if the kid tells you about those others, you do have to report it. So that gets very difficult. That gets really tough to make that call and
Hmm.
figure out how to protect the child so they can actually work through these things.
Well, and I can
Yeah.
bet, like Kristen was talking about in the reports,
Mhm.
nowadays with so many people that are being their own lawyer and getting a hold of their
Mm.
court records, I'm sure that has to be a concern to, like she said, carefully what you write so that you're
Mhm.
not
Mhm.
divulging something that that child thinks, if it's something that you don't have to report, but it's something
Right.
that's,
Right.
meaningful, that you have to be careful how it's written because you don't want to just turn it over and then that parent use it against the child,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and I think that's something that we just don't think about because we don't normally think the psychological warfare that went on with this poor child.
Mhm.
I mean, I don't
Yeah.
know if she really understands how abused she was.
No. Yeah,
No.
she wouldn't be talking to her mom if she did.
No.
Yeah, right
Yeah.
right now she can't separate love from pain, and that's terrifying.
Yeah.
She's going to
Well,
grow up
what
thinking that love is pain and
mm,
betrayal and lies, and it's terrible.
yeah. Well,
Yeah,
what
and
did
it
you think
becomes a
of
multi generational type
Oh yeah.
of situation. Yep.
well, what
Yeah.
did you think of the way the mother kept trying to hug her as they were telling her what had happened?
Control.
Yeah.
Okay.
Avoiding reality too. Like, this isn't really happening. I love you. Like, just further
Maybe
manipulating,
trying to prevent
confusing.
her from coming all the way full circle, like realizing, I don't know. I, I'll just say she exhibits many sociopathic traits. How about that?
Yes. Yes.
How do you help someone process that kind of manipulation though?
Very slowly and carefully.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This
because
is like
I don't
years of therapy. Like, that kind of a processing is not, I mean, literal, it's literal years and a relationship, a very strong therapeutic relationship through which that can happen
yeah.
because,
It's
yeah.
her whole identity. Like she
Mhm.
has to be
Yeah.
completely reformed.
Oh,
It's
wow.
really sad.
Yeah.
And I hope Owen's getting therapy too, because both
Yes.
Lauren and Owen at times had thoughts of self-harm because of the things that were said to them both. I mean, I don't know how that young man is going to go into another relationship and, you know, because his base just got totally blown up by this crazy woman that just decided
Yeah.
to attach herself really to him. I feel like she was trying to attach herself to him
Mhm.
and to control and like Kristen said, control things. She was controlling everybody.
And
She
he
was
has to feel
controlling
some form of responsibility. Like if he didn't exist, would any of this have happened?
I
Or
think
even
so.
he said that he, like, some of the way that she spoke with him and interacted with him was creepy, and he thought it was uncomfortable, but he didn't say that to anybody in the moment.
Yeah.
So you just makes you wonder if he thinks about like, I should have said something. I should have, I should have
Yeah.
realized what she was doing, and who knows? I know. I hope he has support. I'm glad that he moved away.
Yeah.
At least.
I
Not
can't.
that it didn't follow him, but
Can you imagine being his mom? Oh Lord. I think she'd be joining
The
Lauren's dad.
restraint.
in jail.
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
this is somebody you thought was a friend, that you thought you were working on this, trying to help these kids, and then to find out she was the one that caused it all. How would you
Thinking
trust another
back.
person? How do you trust another
Man.
person to come into your life?
Thinking about all the texts and the words in those texts and the I don't know. I don't know.
I'd be waking up in the middle of the night.
I'd be in
being like,
jail.
gosh, remember that thing remember when we were doing this and she said that? Like, I would just be thinking about all the instances of things that in hindsight were, yeah.
Well,
Yeah, that-
Ben Rosenberg makes a good point. Is that from a legal standpoint, he said we put an exceptionally difficult legal burden, at least to some extent, on our mental health care practitioners. The questions aren't always easy for the lawyers. How can it be easier for them? Which,
What do you mean by
Definitely not.
questions?
I would think it would be terribly difficult for from a legal standpoint. Like it's almost like you're braving uncharted territory with this, right? I mean, we were saying at the outset how someone
laws-
we didn't
the
know.
laws-
Yeah, the laws haven't caught up to what was going on, and we're expecting the legal system to make the right decisions, and then they're putting it back on, well, this is a therapist, responsibility. How do you know which side of the fence gets the brunt of making this right?
I wish more lawyers would use therapists and psychologists as consultants.
Yeah.
I think I really mean that. I think they don't. It's funny. I mean, I'm not bashing lawyers here, but I will say in my experience, when I've suggested consulting, they're like, "Oh no, I got it. I mean, I know what's going on. I got it." I'm like, "All right, I know what I'm going to ask. I know how I'm going to handle it. I know what I'm going to charge. I know what I'm going to," and I'm like, "All right, that's fine. Whatever. I get it." They're very different mindsets, but sometimes I do think that it could be beneficial for them to work together. Especially in a situation like this, in terms of like charging appropriately given the damage that has occurred. Like, do we
Yeah.
fully understand the damage that she did?
Hmm.
So like,
And as well, the way the laws are written, with the
Right.
language that the laws are written in, it's very difficult to.
Mhm.
There's no
Yeah,
gray area, it seems.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of the laws have caught up to some,
No.
because I don't think people. Yeah, I mean, people are having a difficult time just realizing women can be predators. You know,
Mm-hmm.
if this had been her father, we wouldn't even be having this discussion because he would have been in
Right.
jail for life.
And registered. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but she gets to walk around and nothing happens. Really, she had 19 months in jail. Whoopee. That wasn't even as long as her daughter put up with this. So she had less time than her daughter got for going through
Did
all
she
this.
ever ask for explicit material from him?
I don't remember hearing that.
It was like mostly just berating, and like, I don't think that she.
It's like she knew what not to do.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Like she skated around it. She told her daughter what to do, but I don't think she asked for anything.
It's just interesting.
Mhm.
Yeah. But
I
I
guess
mean,
no
how
one's
does
going to civilly sue her. I actually, do you know? Did Owen's parents civilly suing her? I wonder for damages.
Oh, I don't know, but that would be cool. Not cool,
I
but you
don't
know.
think
I
she's
know,
got anything.
I know,
I
but
would
at
be
least just
surprised.
for if she does ever make
Yeah,
anything, you know what I mean? Just
yeah.
to,
Oh yeah, I'd make sure she never wrote a book or did anything because she's still
Yeah.
not taking blame. She's still
Is
not
she a
she's
taking
like,
felon?
blame.
I don't think
Uh,
she's a felon. I think that was a misdemeanor charge, wasn't it?
oh man, I forgot.
That
Katrina,
that
I'm gonna
just
find
goes to
out. Yeah.
show how far behind the legal system is.
Yeah.
yeah.
You know,
Katrina, do you remember by chance if she ended up
So
pleading to
2 counts of stalking a minor. Let me see.
it's because it's up in Michigan.
Yeah, it says okay.
Misdemeanor.
It can be.
Katrina said
Yeah,
it
because
was a
it.
misdemeanor.
Wow, wow.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
justice
but this says
definitely didn't match
it
the
shouldn't
harm.
have been.
No. She really got away with it.
They didn't
I
give her
mean,
aggravated stalking, which is what it should have been because the victim was under
yeah,
18 years old, but that must have been
yeah.
part of the plea. That
Wow.
is
And that would have been a felony? Really?
So
well,
how do you
holy cow.
I'm
go
just
ahead, Doc?
I'm just trying to wrap my head around, you know, that there are so many teenagers that get bullied in school. I mean, it doesn't have to be cyberbullying. It's just they plain
Mhm.
old get bullied in school.
Right.
And those things don't come to light, and they get, you know, brushed off. And nobody really. I haven't heard of any big time sentence coming down for you know, bullying somebody in school. How is cyberbullying any different? Now, I'm not saying that what mom did was that's just plain gross, you know.
Well, I think the difference is you have the text messages. So
Oh.
when
And
Johnny
you're also
bullies you at
anonymous.
yeah, when Johnny bullies you at school, you know who it was, what he said to you. But it's not and usually the school handles it if the school does. Some schools don't.
Right.
Um, but it's also in writing, even though it was an unknown number, you
Okay.
know, they
Right.
have the materials that she was sending. So it's not like it's your word against my word that this is what you said.
Mhm.
We have what you said. Here it is. Do you want to read it? No.
Okay. So I'm just trying to play devil's advocate here, I guess. It is because, you know, I mean,
Yeah.
you know, you look at these situations, and, you know, these bullying situations, and you're basically saying that because there was a paper trail that she got in trouble for what she did.
Well, she was
She's
also an
adult.
adult.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not
You
like a
know,
kid to a
Johnny
kid.
in the same class with you, that's 2 kids picking on you know, a kid
Right.
bullying, which is
So
wrong.
it's tantamount to an adult
Yes.
picking a fight with an underaged kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the
Okay.
language in most of the laws is known or should have known.
Okay.
Like
Yeah.
this adult
Yeah.
knew
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So
because I'm a
I think
lawyer.
that's on YouTube.
I'm not really a
Lawyer.
lawyer, but I play one on TV.
Uh, but no, I mean that was a good question, Doc, and it was just like if you know there's you go out as an adult and you're at a restaurant and you start picking on some kid at a table, they're going to come after you bigger than if it was just teenagers, you know, picking on each other.
Yeah, well,
You
yeah.
know,
Yeah.
From a legal standpoint, yes.
right?
Yes. They'll come after you. Yep. I agree with that.
Ben, that's the negligent standard.
Did he tell me I was a
Yeah.
good lawyer?
No, of course he didn't.
Nope.
Come
Dang.
on, Ben. Tell her she's a good lawyer.
No, I don't even care what you say.
She's a great
She's
lawyer.
a great lawyer. Rachel isn't.
Oh.
I was waiting. I was waiting.
Uh-oh.
All right, Bennett.
But Kerville said, yeah, the cyberbullying laws need to be updated after that one case. I forgot the girls. I think all the cyberbullying and just even the bullying, because so many schools don't even take bullying. To an
Michelle
appropriate
Carter
level.
or something? Michelle Carter?
Oh,
What was her
yeah.
name?
Michelle, yeah, who was like telling her boyfriend to unalive himself
Yeah.
on
I
text.
think it was,
Yeah.
yeah, Carter.
And I think that's something when you go to the extreme to tell someone to delete themselves, you've crossed a hold, and we've had too many young ones that have gone ahead and done those things. So those kind of laws need to be updated.
Didn't she get she got more time than the mom did? Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
because he actually did something, but still.
Yeah. Hey, John Paul
well,
Hansen.
her sentence was suspended, but still.
Yeah.
I just
15
feel
months.
bad because every, it's
15
kind of
months.
like seeing a cockroach on the floor. For every one that you see, there are like 1,000 behind the wall. I mean, it's just.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
Well,
Doc, you freaked him
Ew,
out.
do you see one?
no,
Oh, okay.
I have pest control. That's why.
All right.
Sorry to all of you who live in Florida. You all are gonna have nightmares now. Okay.
Well,
Do
the
you
same could
think-
be said for mice.
Yes.
So I feel you.
I like
Do you-
mice.
What kind of therapy does that mother need?
The
I
mom?
Here's the thing.
Okay. She's pushing up her
Unpopular
sleeves,
opinion.
guys.
Unpopular opinion, perhaps. I think therapy will make her worse.
Oh.
I think that she will learn how to manipulate better. I think she will feed the therapist a ton of BS. And that therapist will believe it's the truth. And then therapy will center around mom's lies. And mom will be like, this is fun. And she will weaponize what she learns in therapy, probably. I mean, I think that mom has, like Kristen said, a lot of sociopathic traits.
Yeah.
And you don't send sociopathic people to therapy.
No.
Because it makes it.
It doesn't do
turn
anything.
out-
Makes them better.
It's just like what Professor McLeod said. When we're talking about pedophiles and with his interview, is that these types of people, and you put the people like mom in that same category. There's something wrong. The way you don't fix it. You don't.
Right.
You just you have to have mechanisms in place to try and make it not as bad, I guess, as what it could be.
So accountability.
Yes.
It's like you have to, if it's court-ordered therapy, I mean, the way I would approach someone like this is to set up mechanisms of accountability.
Mhm.
And I would also work with them on staying out of jail. And the way the approach that would be is what's in it for me, to them. So what's in it for you to not participate in this kind of behavior, in this part of type of manipulation? And well, you can stay out of jail. You can have contact with your daughter. You can, and so it's not really coming from a place of like, you do not process things with these people. You don't work on emotions. You don't let them sort of emotionally vomit, and you don't do that with them because that's the way that they manipulate people.
Okay.
With their emotions. So it's a very like a structural behavioral type, what's in it for
Solution
them.
focused.
Yeah,
Mm,
solution
okay.
focused. How do we keep you out of jail? How do
Mhm.
we keep you from violating somebody else again? Like you said, the accountability piece and
Okay.
um, yeah.
Well, and also I think one thing we're not thinking about is what about the poor girls that got accused? Like Owen's friend, his cousin, they came under suspicion. How do schools protect the students' privacy and their mental health? What kind of support systems do schools need to do? Because these girls have had their reputations harmed, you know?
Kristen, that's a good one
So,
for you. What does the school do? I don't even know.
I think schools need trauma informed protocols. Um, like when an investigation like this has to be done, they've got to balance that investigation with emotional protection and the vulnerabilities that people are experiencing. Private interviews, not public interviews. Transparency about the process and a counselor available for anybody who needs it at any time. I think there's definite positive ways to handle it, and it is a crappy thing that has to happen.
yeah.
But hopefully, if it's handled well, all the students can see, like, I understand that this has to happen, and they're handling it the best they can by providing us resources to talk to somebody if we need to.
And Kervil says abolish social media and phones. That was one thing.
Yes.
Dax Shepard kept saying, "Why didn't they take her phone away?" Well, because her mother was doing it, and her mother wasn't going to let that phone out of that girl's hands.
No.
See, she kept saying, "You'll let them win if you take the phone away." So she was making sure the weapon was still in her daughter's hands. That's how
Mhm.
diabolical that woman was.
Hmm.
Well, Owen's mom was the same. I don't think that
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
the person who was doing it would have got the contact information, whether they changed the number.
Because it was the mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was their numbers.
Yeah. Well, I
It
think
is
it's
weird
interesting.
though.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say it is kind of weird though that the police didn't at least try to narrow the pool. Like, I feel like so if they got her a brand new number, and I know you can't control all this. I get it. This is probably just like unrealistic, but and you say you do not give this number to anyone. This is only for the next month. I know it's gonna suck. I know it's gonna be painful, but this is not for social media. This is not, do not give this number to anyone. This is strictly for your parents
Mm.
to be able to contact you if for emergency reasons. Don't give it to your best friend. Like, we're not doing phone contact for a month, 6 weeks. If it would the
And see
mom
what
have been
happens.
able to stop? I wonder.
Yeah. Good
Or would
point.
she manipulate it to be like, well, you must have given your number. Somebody must have found out. Like, it just makes me wonder.
Yeah.
Or
Mm.
like, you can give it to your best friend, you can give it to your boyfriend, but that's it. And then, you know, it would just be interesting. I
Well,
don't know why they didn't try to at least narrow the pool of suspects,
and
you
like
know?
Kerrville said, Owen's mom did take his phone at night.
Mhm.
There for a while, she was taking the phone at night so that he didn't have it at night. So she did try at least that.
At
Mm.
least let him
Um,
So
sleep.
they were able to they were able to find out who it was when they finally did a VPN search.
Yeah, yeah. The
Why did
yeah,
it take
FBI,
them that long to do that?
because they didn't give it to the
Has
FBI.
has
because
but
it was
we
a
could
small
do a VPN. And has
yeah,
enough
but
time
you're
passed to where technology has advanced that much to where it doesn't seem like a big deal now, a VPN search, but back then it
I know.
was?
well, that would have been in what,
Strange.
2020 when it started, I think.
Yeah,
But you're
only a few
talking
years
about
ago.
it was Beale City, Michigan. It was a very small community, and maybe the police there didn't, I mean, they finally went to the FBI because the sheriff was willing to. He was like, "Hey, we need help. We're not getting to the bottom of this." Um, and I think that's another thing is how that community, because it was a tiny community, people really interacted with each other. Lauren's mother was really a part of the community. Can you imagine the whole community and the betrayal they feel? I mean, I feel
Imagine your
sorry for
kids
anyone that
on
loses.
Kendra's team. I mean, I'd be like, if my kid had
Oh,
any access with that person, I would be like, tell me every conversation you ever had with her. What, like, I don't
yeah.
know. That would be so upsetting.
We're basically talking like there's a whole town that needs therapy,
Yeah.
Yeah.
because of this
Sadly,
situation.
yeah.
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 I mean, she only
And
got 19 months.
yeah,
19.
And what's prohibiting her from coaching a boys soft or baseball team or
nothing.
nothing? That's the thing. It's
Because she
like, what is
doesn't have to
Yeah.
from
register
being
for anything.
around teenagers? She wasn't even put on the child abuse registry, which is
Yeah.
separate from the legal charges. So nothing is stopping this woman from going to another high school in another town and volunteering, coaching with
Yeah.
her resume of all these things she's done to coach and volunteer and help out. And she's a misdemeanor. So like,
And we know she's a good
How in
liar.
the world did they get her to talk on that documentary?
because that is how sick she is. That is her way of saying,
What was she saying? She's like, "You've never done anything wrong?
yeah,
You never had
Oh,
a drink
yes.
and drove?" And I'm like,
15
that's the
minutes
same.
of fame.
girl.
That is the same.
It was like her saying, I want everyone to know I'm so sorry, but also it wasn't that big of a deal.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
not how it was.
You've never done
It was
anything wrong before?
Yeah. Well,
It's the
Curvel's
same
right. She
thing, you
wanted to
just
tell
didn't get
her
caught.
story. Yeah.
Yeah.
She wanted to tell her story from her point of view. And it's like, lady, we're listening to the whole story.
But even her story is delusional.
Yeah.
She's just a
Yeah.
little mom.
She's just a normal mom.
I just got caught.
Normal mom.
You all should be in jail too. I just got
Oh
caught.
my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Just got caught. Mhm.
Again,
when
this
she
is
said,
why therapy for her, she'll
Wouldn't work.
monopolize on this whole like history of abuse that she's talking about, and that's all it will be, and it won't be real. It's not going to be helpful that way.
She would learn how better to manipulate the system.
And make excuses.
Yep.
And
Yep.
yeah, because I mean, a therapist, and rightfully so, is supposed to take what their client says, and you can be challenging, you can challenge them to a certain degree when they're open to that down the line, but this isn't the type of person that's going to happen with.
Right.
So
right.
yeah.
Well, I appreciate you guys being here tonight because this case, shining your expertise on the darkness of this was awesome. Wading through
Thanks
the
for
mud,
having us.
because this was a case that I think blew everybody's mind.
Yeah.
And we do need people like Kristen and Rachel to help us because we're not experts. We rely on them for cases to help us shed some light. Your therapist, your doctor, that's not what they do. They're not here for you. They're here for the criminals. Because if they were here for you, you're either a criminal or your bill's going to come up real soon. So remember that, guys. But they guided us through the darkness. Go ahead.
I know Ben loves, just so you know, I know Ben loves me. I mean, he is bullying me in public right
Are
now.
you
but
sure?
He loves me. If we're going to use the B word, I mean, sorry.
Let's see. Ben, behave yourself. Be a good boy.
B is for behave.
Yeah. Okay, let's do some quick missing posters because we have some people we need to find. Remember the faces, you guys, when you're out in public. Some leave voluntarily, but then they find themselves in danger, and some of them don't ever get the choice. And so we need to look for them. Trust your instincts. If you see something that's suspicious, call 911 and don't assume someone else is doing it. The first one is Daniel Mannon. He's 15 years old. He disappeared on September 22nd from Oklahoma. The name of this town is Talequah. Not trying it, guys. He has dark brown hair.
Tahlequah, I think.
Okay. Thanks, Doc. And brown eyes. He's 5'8", 175 pounds. He was last seen wearing a black t-shirt, black shorts, and orange tennis shoes. He was seen near North Bliss Avenue and East Downing Street around 3:30. So please contact the Cherokee Nation Marshal at 918-207-3800. Call your local police or 911 if you see him. The next one is Dominic Stans, 16. This one comes from Rapid City, South Dakota. So the Sanish Scouts are helping look for him, which we know is part of Lissa's organization. And he's disappeared October 3rd from the Arise Youth Center at 3505 Campbell Street. He's 5'8", 155 pounds, black hair, brown eyes. He was wearing a black hoodie, a white t-shirt, black pants. Contact the Pennington County, South Dakota Sheriff at 605-394-4131 or the Okeechobee at 605-430-8441 or the Sanish Scouts at 701-893-6841. We need to find him. We have Janika Sahara. She's 15. She's been missing for a year, you guys. October 15th. It was a year from Greenlee, Colorado. She is with the North Cheyenne tribe. She has hazel eyes, brown hair, 5'3" and 110 pounds. She has nose studs on both sides and a cheek dermal piercing. Tattoo on her left forearm is a rose with Samantha and Love Mom on her bicep. She was last seen in Windsor. She's believed to still be in Greenlee or nearby. So if you have information on Janica, please contact the Windsor Police at 970-674-6400 or the Greenlee Police at 970-350-9605. She was last seen about 9 p.m. in Windsor, and she was wearing a red and black flannel shirt, Nike high tops, and a backpack. She frequents the Far Park area in Greenlee, Colorado. So call someone if you see something. And our last girl is Shanita Largo. She's 34. She's been missing since October 8th from Farmington, New Mexico. She has brown eyes, brown hair that's recently dyed red, 5'2", 170 pounds, a black t-shirt, black sweatpants, black shoes. She had a black purse. She has several tattoos and her ears are pierced. She was last seen in Farmington by her family. So if anyone knows anything, contact Farmington at 505-334-6622. The case number is 25-62994. Call 911. And before we go, let's see. Dr. Rachel, Kristen, any last words that you can give us?
I
Don't
love
talk
you
at once,
all.
girls.
I'm so tired. I got nothing.
I know.
It was a
Okay.
great show. Thank you for
Thank you
having
so
me.
much. Yeah.
Well,
this
we
is good.
appreciate you guys being here. We really do. And I want to remind everyone that this case shows us that the monsters don't always lurk in the alleys, you guys. Sometimes they're in your home, at your dining room table, coaching your team, tucking you in at night. The signs are there always. Like Dr. Rachel and Kristen told us, this has probably been going that poor girl's life. Sometimes the person you turn to for help is the person that is hurting you. This woman spent 2 years torturing her daughter, then comforting her. And she pointed fingers at innocent friends, teenagers, destroyed a teenage romance, sent sexually explicit messages to minors, and encouraged self-deletion. She got 19 months. Every predator, every abuser, and every bully depends on your silence. Please don't give it to them. If you see something, say something. Don't let
Trust your
someone
gut.
get harassed. Yeah, really. Don't let someone being harassed, tormented, or cyberbullied. Speak up. If something feels wrong, trust that gut, like Dr. Rachel said. This teenage girl was struggling in silence. She was someone's daughter. She was real, and someone always knows something. And so remember, silence is betrayal. If you have a story that you want us to pay attention to, or you want to hear what Dr. Rachel and Kristen think about a story, let us know. We're glad to bring them back anytime. We got a song for them. So yeah, they can come on anytime and chat with
That
us.
was so cool, by the way. That was so awesome. Thank you.
Well, you're welcome. We
I
appreciate
can't
you
wait to
being
go
here
listen.
for us.
Yeah, you'll like the last one with the different little different flair to it. So
Okay, I'm
So
ready.
everyone, don't forget our native brothers and sisters up in Alaska. Doc's going
Yes.
to put more the information in the description for the different people that are collecting stuff,
for all the
donations.
relief information. So
Yeah. So next time, stay informed, stay compassionate, you know, keep demanding justice, you
Yeah.
guys. Don't stop speaking up for those who can't speak for themselves. Remember, it wasn't a mannequin. It never is. We love you all. We appreciate you spending the time with us. We'll see you on Thursday. And thank you guys. This was awesome. And I had a fabulous time.
Thank you. Yes. Same.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good night, everybody. Ciao.
Good night.
Good night. Good night.
When the case gets dark and the motive's unclear, when you're drowning in questions and twisted in fear, there's two voices of reason we turn to each time to make sense of the madness, unravel the crime. Dr. Rachel and Kristen, therapist you know, guiding us down where the damaged minds go. Into the muck and the mire they dive, helping us understand how evil survives. They're not here for your problems, no couch in this room. Better not overshare or you'll get the bill soon. They're here for the cases that haunt and disturb, the crimes that leave logic completely blurred. When someone commits the unthinkable act, when violence erupts and the psyche's been cracked, we need expert eyes to peer through the fog, to wade through the cobwebs, cut through the smoke. What makes someone snap? What darkness takes hold? What stories of trauma were never quite told? The why and the how of humanity's worst, minds behind the crimes, in darkness immersed. So who you gonna call when you need to know why? Dr. Rachel and Kristen to help clarify. They offer the insight, they clear out the mess. Psychological principles, nothing more, nothing less. Thank you for coming, for helping us see into the darkest of what minds can be, for lending your knowledge, your wisdom, your time, to help us understand the most disturbing of crimes. So here's to Dr. Rachel and Kristen tonight, for shining their expertise into the darkest of plights, for wading through muck that most would avoid, for filling the gaps where our understanding's been void. Now don't get confused about their roles here tonight. They are the experts we call on for cases to help shed the light. Your therapist, your doctor, that's not what they do. They're here for the criminal minds. Not me and not you. But we thank them sincerely for all that they do, for helping us process what's painful but true, for guiding us through when the questions run deep, our guides through the darkness.